credit, Florida was incredible with their comeback. Hit huge shots and took the lead. Our response down the stretch was phenomenal. Florida's really, really good. It was a big win for us. Questions?
Were you this calm in the locker room in terms of, mild-mannered, and what was it like in there?
I didn't get a chance to get in the locker room before the team attacked me in the coach's locker room with about 100 water bottles. So they're changing to this hoodie. A little more comfortable now. Pants are still wet, a little cold. Ready to get home to the pizza.
What does it tell you about this team too to see another late lease of oil with Blue to hit that three, to make some stops, make some free throws down the last 45 seconds or so?
It's just pretty. Let's start with Blue. It's pretty unique that you're sitting there for a while on the bench watching the game and go right back in the game and sprint into a huge shot like that. It's unique. He was ready though, and I'm not sure this time last year as a true freshman he understood that mentality. Maybe I'm wrong, but he continues to grow as a sophomore. And, just being locked in and engaged in the game. There's some winning stuff. He goes in. And I was worried he was a little stiff, because there was some conversation amongst our staff: do we put Blue in? Do we not put Blue in? And you think about a guy having to guard those guards who's just been sitting down for a while, and can he help us offensively? Is he stiff? And boy, he took advantage. Hit a huge shot. Great screen, great pass.
After that shot by Blue, some big rebounds by Asa. I mean, what did you see from him when the game went on?
Hard, toughness, it's who he is. A lot of people don't use that word with him a lot because he's not 270, but he is tough, man. He just plays. He's got a motor. He fights through fatigue. Sometimes you can see in his face. He just looks so tired because he's given everything he's got out there, and made some huge plays.
What does it mean that your fan base can celebrate a victory like this?
Oh, it's great. It's first and foremost about our guys. It's I'm happy for them. They've worked their butt off. There's been a lot of adversity, of course. This was a team, we were in the top 25, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks, who knows? So all that positive noise that comes to these guys, they heard it. And not that we reacted really negatively to it at all, but then you find yourself here where you've lost a few in a row, and you got to keep it in perspective that it's the best league in the history of college basketball, and you're up 26 on number 2, and then all of a sudden you're down, and what an in-game response. Unbelievable. Especially for a group that's not overly old and experienced, right? So I'm really happy for our guys, of course, but also really happy for our student section. President Moorhead and Josh and our administration. Crowd was awesome. It was rocking in there, especially when we got up late. You could really hear our fans.
Were you involved in any pre-planning that led to the PA's repeated announcement request for fans to wait 90 seconds before
Not at all.
taking the court?
No, I had my hands full with just hoping we could win by 1 point. That's it. I don't worry about those things. Our administration does a good job of that stuff. I didn't know it was coming. We got together for our usual post-game conversation, whether it be after a win or loss, and you come to fans, and haven't talked to our guys about it, but I'm sure they will remember that. It'll be a memory for our students and for our guys. Pretty cool celebration.
Sorry, you had the hot start there in the first half.
Yeah.
Going into the break, leading 16. What was the message at halftime? What did you say to your guys, and what was that like there?
Same thing we say every game, honestly. We could have been, we were down 17 early in the game, early this season in a home game that we found a way to win. Same deal. It's about the first round of the second half. It's about the first possession. How do you win the first round of the second half, round 6? You got to get an A shot, got to get a stop. You got to stay connected. Adversity's coming. Haven't accomplished anything. Same stuff. It's 40 minutes. We're all saying the same stuff to our respective teams in different ways, and that's the way we say it to our guys. Our guys were pretty calm, pretty open to some of the film that we showed, some of the things we needed to do a little bit better. I thought defensively they were really sharp early second half, and we didn't have that same downhill level of confidence and ball movement. We played a little bit tentative there early second half offensively. Not sure we got to where we really played as aggressive at all in the second half as we did in the first. And some of that is watching the ball go in against your defense.
Michael,
They stepped up and made some big shots. Yeah,
My bad.
you're good.
A lot of stoppages there in the last minute or so. I'm just curious, what's the message you're giving to those guys as you're starting to close it out there?
Oh, so many messages. In the last minute and a half, I mean, the biggest one was let's make sure we don't call timeout. We're out of timeouts, right? And press offensive responsibilities, free throw line blockouts, whether or not we're going to foul, what type of defense we're going to play. There was some conversation about changing it up there down the stretch, but we stuck to man and not fouling a three, which unfortunately we did. But it was close. It was one of those you want to contest it. At least we didn't jump, But Clayton did a good job of drawing one.
It seems like this team has been rejuvenated since that bye with the no midweek game last week. What have you seen? What do you feel like has changed since you guys kind of got that break before Auburn?
Yeah, I mean, the last two games we played really hard, and we played better as well. Just obviously, generally speaking, offensively, defensively, we just played a little bit better. We've changed a couple things in terms of how we're playing. I think the rest helps, again, especially this time of year. We've shortened up practice a little bit. How big of a factor is that? I don't know. Probably more than anything, guys are just playing well. Silas is playing well. Dylan's emerged, and doing some really good things for us. Blue's playing more confidently. Ace has had a really strong year, continues to do what he does. We're playing a couple different guys, you can read between the lines there, playing a little bit differently with our roster and our rotations, but there's some other guys, there's a couple that didn't play tonight that, who knows, their number might be called in the next one or the following one, but as long as everybody's pulling for each other, we're good.
Coach, you pulled Silas right after the game. What did you talk to him? What
He
did
grabbed
you
me
say
and just
to
had a
him?
quick personal message for me.
Okay.
I love him. I love being in Foxhole with him. He's a winner. He's a competitor. He's tough as nails. I love coaching him, and we're all watching him get better every time he plays.
What do you think about his play tonight? Shots
Phenomenal.
were fall.
Oh, early on. Oh my goodness. He got us off to a great start. We were in such a good offensive rhythm against an elite defense, led by him, just stepping up and making shots, creating his own, creating for others. And he's always, I've said this since he's been here, even as a true freshman, he's one of the better defensive point guards in our league.
Do you think this was a needed statement game for the NCAA tournament community?
I'm not worried about it. Honestly, I'm not trying to dodge it. I'd say the same thing to our team, to our staff. We're not into making statements. The statement was made, so be it. I'm focused on our guys getting rest, having great practice Thursday, putting together a game plan, building off this, continuing to get better. We had a couple outliers there, Missouri at home, where we were just out of character there late in the second half, as we talked about openly. But other than that, I think even with the losses, there's a gradual ascension, I think, of this team since the fall, and that showed tonight. It showed at Auburn, and we're playing pretty well. But how do you continue to play well? You gotta continue to work and stay focused on the right stuff.
Coach White,
Yep.
after the Missouri loss where you guys gave up that second half lead,
Yeah.
you said that it was a mystery of what was going on. But
Yeah.
this game, you found your stride and you fixed it, and it was versus Florida, where you used to coach.
Yeah.
Do you think that, first of all, how special is it to finally have that stride and have it be your first win against Florida as a Georgia coach?
It's special. It is. It's a little different. It is. Every win that you accomplish, you're excited about. It's on the next, of course. This one was a little bit more special too because of the way that we performed against them in Gainesville. Just did not play well. It wasn't competitive, and obviously Florida had a lot to do with it. Florida's really good. They're really good. I'm happy for our guys. They continue to work, and it was a big win, of course.
You talked about the gradual ascension, but what can it do for a team going forward to see that actually result in a win on the scoreboard?
After losses, it's just re-confirmation. But our guys have had confirmation in the past. It's just part of the basketball season where you you don't play well and then you get a big win, right? You lose to Marquette, but then you beat, we lost to Ole Miss to start the SEC season, and probably had another one in there, and then you beat Kentucky, and then you beat Oklahoma, and so we've been capable all along, but a lot of it just has to do with how the other team playing, right? You know, we've played some high level teams, and we've preached to our guys a lot about just faith, just having faith that if we just continue to work, good things will happen, you know. But if you're just so focused on the outcome of the last game and the outcome of the next game, especially as a young team, it's hard to perform well. Let's perform well. Let's play well. Let's get better, and good things will happen. We're in striking distance down the stretch. Then we'll start talking about finishing a game and winning a game. And we talked about that during the last couple of medias. I think we lost round 7 or 8 there, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe tied round 9, if I'm not mistaken, and then found ourselves down in round 10 and found a way.
What kind of adjustments,
2 more questions.
What kind of adjustments did you see Florida make down there in the second half? I mean, was it just better play, or did they do a lot different?
Again, I thought they were tighter defensively. We watching it live, and I'm anxious to watch it on film. We had another one of those, and I don't want to turn this thing into any negative stuff. It was a big win. We're all in a pretty good place right now. But early second half, we didn't defensively. I've seen that before, where we just didn't look quite as quick and fast to the ball, and our blockouts weren't as clean, and our contests weren't as clean, and they made us pay, you know. But some of that is just some of it was their actions. Credit those guys. There a couple back screen layups for Will Richard set a tone. They really settled in offensively early second half, and it was tough to slow them down from there.
Coach Justin Abson's 20 minutes tonight, and then huge on the defensive side, 3 blocks, 3 steals. What was his impact like?
Man, huge. You just said it. And also passing. How many assists did he have?
5?
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
5 assists to 1 turnover. You know, for your backup center who's pulled a few, if not a dozen or so DMPs. Right? You guys can check those stats. I mean, he's had games he doesn't get in the game, and that's not on him as much as it is the competition with the 5 guys we've got in front court who are all a little bit different. And tonight we played Justin those 20 instead of another guy or two, and who knows whose turn it'll be the next go-round. But another great example in our locker room to talk about, a guy who just continues to work and be present in practice. And got a great attitude. He's a great teammate, and his number's called, and he played his butt off. He's a good player. He's really, really skilled, and he's a quick thinker. He's got a great feel, basketball IQ. You said it, block shots and assists. And he helped us in a big way tonight.
Mike, one of the reasons Florida was able to get back in that game was turnovers, offensive rebounding, and then you guys really, for that final minute, kind of took control of that. What do you think went into that?
Well, we didn't turn over down the stretch. I say that down the very end, right? At the very
yeah, that's
end.
what I mean. Like that
Oh
final
my goodness!
minute, you guys took
mid second
control of
half,
both of those.
mid to late second half, we had some costly live ball turnovers, which we've seen all year. Did we jog back and pout about it? A la second half Missouri? No, we continued to play. Some of them led to fouls at the rim in transition. Some of them led to baskets or open threes. They can be demoralizing, and they have been for us at times. And they were in that moment, at least for the coaching staff, you know. But our guys continued to battle, and I thought our late game valuing of the basketball and spacing late was pretty good. So we were able to overcome those 17 turnovers. We don't want 17 in the next one. We got to keep getting better.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.